Hey everybody, it's Mark Adam from the WPG Magazine. I am chatting with Raj Maniar from Torque Brewing, formerly of basically every restaurant you've ever been to in the city. And so I would like to welcome you, Raj.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good.
Yeah, you're a bit of a restaurant whore, that's for sure.
Yeah, you've been at one or two. You've been around. You've seen what Winnipeg is like at its best, I think. And right now, the entire world is not at its best, and things are taking a big hit. You're working at a brewery, and you guys have your doors closed, nobody in and out, kind of thing. You guys don't have the issue where all of a sudden you can't sell food. You weren't doing that anyway. But
Yeah.
how have you adapted to the situation?
First thing we did is we closed the tap room. We are still allowing people to come in to get takeout, like cans and stuff like that. Only allowing 2 people in the building at any given time. But really, the way we shifted our business is we're doing home delivery now, which we didn't do before. So they can go online, they can order it, and then we deliver it either that day or the next day. But when that comes down to it, all the restaurants and bars that are closed, that's more than 50% of our business there. So we're just trying to do what we can to get out there and keep people drinking and keep relevant and keep the lights on.
Keeping the lights on is important, obviously. Health and safety, obviously, the main reason everybody shut down. Have you noticed sales go up or down, or has it sort of have people just adapted and now they're just ordering regularly, or what's the deal there?
Well, sales have definitely taken a massive hit. You're losing like big accounts like King's Head, Local, Shannon's, like just like places that people go to drink, and now people are at home drinking one or two or three type thing. But the home delivery is definitely helping. LC sales have gone up. I've noticed that. Vendor sales have gone up. But we've lost 50% of our sales.
Yeah. That's it's hard to build that ground back up.
Yeah.
Also, you guys do events and things in the tap room. You have a murder mystery coming up. I myself, as a musician, I've played there.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of stuff going on. How long are you expecting this to last? I'm just asking everybody that I talk to about that. How long do you think it's going to last? Some people are saying, a couple of months. Some people are saying 6 months, 7 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
But where are you at?
Business size, we've canceled all events up until May, so all through April. May, June, we'll reevaluate that kind of beginning of April. We don't want to cancel things and then all of a sudden it works and we can come back. Not that I think that that's going to happen, but there's no point of canceling something in July right now. But like we lost, we had a 3-on-3 charity hockey tournament, which we had to cancel. We had the murder mystery, weekly music. We have events all the time, and then that's only events here. Us sponsoring and partnering with other events that are out and about in the world was a big one as well.
Yeah, there's people are really changing the way that they consume content, the way that they consume entertainment. And do you think when the ban is lifted, when things are deemed safe, do you think that the tap room will be as full as it was before this whole thing? Do you think people are going to be willing to come and sit and be shoulder to shoulder with each other?
I think our biggest issue right off the hop after everything opens up is the millions of people who are laid off that just won't have money to go out.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have those people who are like, okay, now I can go to work. If I deferred my mortgage payment, well, now I need to pay that. Or I've got back rents or my credit card, or I need groceries and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that stuff's going to have to be paid first before people go out to drink, I think. Now, you're going to get those people who are like first day out are going to be like, let's go. So we'll probably get like a 1 or 2 like day pop, but then I think it'll be like we'll be slower. I think across the board, hospitality is going to be slower. I think this is shifting a little bit about how, like you said, how people are absorbing content. Well, they also realize, well, I can get beer delivered to me at home. I can play poker online and still hang out with my buddies without actually being face to face with them. Um, I think you'll see a little bit more of a slide towards like online people staying in. But I think as humans, we're also very social people. It's part of what makes us up, right?
Yeah. So other places like the King's Head, usually packed shoulder to shoulder. You got places like the Shannon's Pub. When it's busy, it's busy.
Yeah.
I think people are going to start realizing that during this, you can get beer delivered to you at home. And they're looking at passing cocktails from bars being delivered and things like that. Things are changing. And do you think that when this is all said and done, long term, this actually might have a positive effect on business? Obviously, not on. We're not saying that contamination is bad. Is good, but
honestly, I think the home delivery thing will be like we're kicking around the idea because it's not something we did before. But we're kicking around the idea about like maybe keeping it going. But I think that people might stay home for a little bit. But I think in the long run, people will be like, no, there's a reason why I went to the King's Head. There's a reason why I went to Shannon's. It's not only to hang out with the friends that I have going there. It's to see the service, to see other people that I might not know, meet new people. I think in the short term, people might stay at home a little bit more. But I think in the long term, people will go back to their normal habits.
I mean, I'm one of those kind of people that, as soon as the ban is lifted and it's safe and I can afford it, I will be at the bar. I'm just that guy.
100%.
So
I mean, I'm such a personable person, but like right now it's kind of weird. Like I can't just go somewhere and like talk to an owner or manager. Like my highlight of my day right now is when I'm doing home deliveries, because at least when I put the cases of beer on the porch, I can wave at somebody like through the door.
An actual human being.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It might be 6 feet away, but at least it's not literally through the internet. Yeah. Because this is the first time I've seen you since the whole thing went down. You and I go way back to our Barley Brother days, or my Barley Brother days. You were there well before I was because you were at the first location. You've been at all kinds of different restaurants. Do you think that restaurants should be doing what they're doing and staying open for delivery and pick up for food stuff made like that? Do you think that? I've heard people say that they don't think that's safe.
Well, the people that are saying that they don't think that's safe are the people that are quarantining themselves, even though they're not told to. To be 100% honest, the government has not mandated a full restaurant bar closed down in Manitoba. We are under 50 people or under 50% capacity. All the places that are open for deliveries, they're just trying to do what they can to maintain, make sure that there's a place to come back, that they're employing 100 people. They want to be able to have a place to come back to. And a big thing is, until the government actually mandates that it has to be closed, if they have business interruption insurance, they can't claim that. They can't just be like, right? So that's the big thing. Is like until the government actually says you need to close.
So there are bars and restaurants that are fully closed. Do you think that maybe they should be staying open? Like, was that something you would recommend to them?
I don't know. I think everyone needs to do what they feel is right within their own realm. Talking to these owners and stuff like that, some of them felt that the takeout would be worthwhile. Other ones thought, like, even just financially, like, you know what? Let's turn off the gas, let's turn off the water, let's turn off the electricity. That's worthwhile. That's more worthwhile than making a few orders of food. I think everyone needs to make their own decision right now. Like, you follow the government, what the government says, you follow what the WHO says, and then you make the best decision for what you feel is for your business. I think the fact that people online are shaming restaurants for staying open is absolutely ridiculous. The backlash that some restaurants are getting is absolutely ridiculous. It's easy for some people to work from home, but you can't do that in a restaurant.
Yeah,
And these
I
people
get it.
have
I'm laid off myself from my job because I work in the industry.
exactly, yeah. And these managers or these owners have massive amounts of debt that they're trying to make sure that they can keep their doors open. So
Hmm.
when it's ready, you could have a job again.
Well, and I get that, and I totally appreciate that. What the other side of the coin, like there's always extremes on both ends, right?
Oh,
You,
100%.
you got people thinking that everything should be just straight up closed and shut yourself away and don't see another human for 3 weeks and everything will go away. And then you got these other people that are not taking this seriously at all. There was a lot of backlash for a couple of restaurants online that were saying, even St. Patrick's Day, they were still open, saying like we're having a great big party here, like ignore this nonsense and come out and party with us. And I'm not
Yeah,
going to name names or anything, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
but that's that was a thing, and so that like backlash against that I find reasonable.
Backlash
Uh,
against that I find reasonable because they're not following what the government, the WHO, is telling them to follow. And I know exactly which restaurant you're talking about. I can't name names either.
mhm,
And I won't do that but stuff like that. But also remember that came from an employee. That didn't come from one of the owners,
that's fair.
right? So they probably took away his access to social media. That's right after
Well,
that.
there was a very quick turnaround on that.
Oh yeah, 100% there was.
Like to their credit, they realized that was a mistake and they
Yeah,
fixed it, and now they're in compliance with what exactly you're
yeah.
talking about with the government and WHO and making sure that they're doing things the safest way they can. But I think it took some people longer to realize that this isn't you know fake news, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not a hoax. It's not a This is not something to be taken lightly. I don't think that you should shut the whole world down completely, but we do need to be careful. There's elderly people and people with compromised immune systems that can't fight off this virus, that are quite literally dying all around the world, and we have to be very careful and try and minimize that. But
I 100% agree with you. It's actually kind of interesting that um, one of the I was reading yesterday that one of the segments of the population that they're having the hardest with to self isolate is the elderly, because mentality wise they're like, well, I already lived my life one, or they don't take it seriously. They're not bombarded by social media the way we are because they don't have their phone in their face all the time.
so they're not getting all the information.
They're not getting out. But also, I mean, if they're home alone, anxiety can go kick up for them.
Hmm.
They at a certain point they need the routines, especially if they have some mental deficiencies through age.
Yeah.
They need to, like, 11 o'clock I go down and do this. 12 o'clock I have lunch. 1 o'clock I play bridge. Right. Without that, then they kind of lose a sense of who they are.
Yeah, a lot
Um,
of people with dementia,
yeah.
even non-elderly people, people with autism, that they just don't
Yep.
understand the interruption to the routine. Um, and I mean, the people who are the most excited aren't people at all; they're dogs,
Yeah. They can't catch it, and the dog parents are always home.
right? Like they have no idea what's happening, but they love this. So I read an article about how a dog went to, like a dog sprained his tail due to excessive wagging recently. Like it's just like that's where we're at in society. We're like that's news now, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Sometimes get like some fluff news is a welcome thing on the feed because like you're
Puff
just
pieces
doing
have
this.
been a
You're
thing forever, so
like you remember when like Iran and the States almost caused World War III? Don't you wish you had those days? Like,
yeah, yeah. But anyway, I'm glad to see that Torque's doing well. I was on the website. I was gonna order it, but I might actually just come pick it up myself so I can get out of the house.
yeah, 100%. I've had a bunch of friends being like, "Can we just come and pick it up? Because I need to go for a drive and get some fresh air." And yeah,
Yeah, and I'm at home with there's two kids in my house,
yeah,
and like just trying to keep the peace, and because they're constantly just breathing air out of each other's mouths. That's like they're so close together all the time.
Yeah.
That old saying, familiarity breeds contempt.
Yeah.
However, with this social isolation, we got distance makes the heart grow fonder. Is that hopefully a thing?
You know what's actually funny? I've reached out to friends of mine that I haven't in a long time. I've been talking to, like, my mom's in India. She's stuck in India right now, so I'm talking to her a little bit more than I have lately. Talking to my brother who lives in, like, Ontario a little bit more than I have lately, and just friends that I haven't seen in 6 months. Just like, wow, I wonder what he's doing right now. And I would like call them up or video chat them. It's like, it's kind of interesting how, like, because we can't, like, you almost like think about them more.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like lack of access. When I lived in Halifax, I rarely, if ever, visited my parents, and I lived like a 20-minute drive away, and I've since moved literally halfway across the country. And now I really, really wish that I could visit them all the time, and I can't. And so that lack of access makes, like, and so I totally understand that statement. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's when you realize you can't that you realize, well, I really should have when I could.
When I moved to Vancouver for that year and a bit, like, not seeing my parents, not seeing my grandparents was like wow. Even though when I was here, it was special occasions, or if something had to happen, then I would. But then it was like, I was probably talking to my parents like once every 2 weeks, which never happened when I was here. Yeah. That hasn't happened really since I've been back.
So, okay, one more question, and then I'll let you get back to your day of delivering joy to people's houses. Joy and beer, same thing. But what is the one event that you are really hoping the world is safe by so you can attend?
Well, I have tickets to Pearl Jam and Pixies in Hyde Park in London, in England, in July. So.
In July, okay, so that's
beginning of July. So this,
it's gonna be dicey. We'll see.
It's gonna be tight, right?
Yeah. So you've already got flights booked and everything?
No, I decided to hold off on flights because
probably
smart. I bought the tickets in late December when they went on sale, and then I started hearing this going on, and then I was kind of waiting for like good flight prices, and then kind of mid-January this started getting bigger, and then come February, I just told my buddy who lives out there, I was like, I'm gonna wait to see what happens, because when I looked into it, if you had bought flights after January, they weren't doing, like, travel insurance wasn't covering it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to drop $1,500 and then be like, nope. We can't go.
Yeah. Here you go, Air Canada / WestJets or whoever the hell you're buying it from. Yeah. But anyway, that's man. I'm really there's so many people, and I got people who are getting married and all these sorts of things. And
I actually had a buddy of mine who postponed his wedding because it's coming up, and he's like, hey, well, they're either pushing it till the fall if they can figure out a new venue, or next summer.
Well, you and I are in the same wedding party for another wedding that's in August.
So I think that one's going to be okay.
That should be okay? Question mark? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be like them and the wedding party, like, all throughout the room, and that's it.
Yeah. The wedding party only, everyone gets their own table.
Exactly, right? Because things that I'm hearing is, like, they're saying, like, the peak is in late April, but social distancing will still have to happen until, like, September.
Yeah.
Now social distancing is different than isolation and quarantine.
That's the thing. And I keep telling people, I'm not quarantined. I'm in self-isolation.
Yeah.
I have a kid.
You need to realize.
And my kid has a grandmother that she sees who's... actually, her great-grandmother is very at risk. And so I have to be careful, not for me, necessarily. Like, if I get sick, that would suck. If my daughter gets it, that would suck, but she'll be fine. But it's her great-grandmother that's the problem, So we're self-isolating to save the people that are in our lives, not necessarily ourselves. I'm a healthy human. I imagine, while it will suck, I would be fine.
Yeah, but like, I want to be able to take my grandmother groceries, but because of I'm still out and about work-wise, I'm just like, I can't do that.
No.
Right. So my aunts are taking care of that, but that's why you need to take care of it. It's like, even if you have a healthy body, you're gonna get better, but it's gonna be on you, and you can still pass it. You can still be a carrot.
Well, I hope you get to go see Pearl Jam and the Pixies. That would be awesome. Pearl Jam is one of my favorite bands, so I feel that, and I've never seen them live, so jealous.
Really? Yeah, this will be my 4th time seeing them live.
Yeah, rub it in. It's fine.
But one thing I read on Facebook today that I thought was kind of really sad and poignant and kind of humorous. If this would have happened earlier, Kobe would still be alive.
Yeah.
Because practice would have been canceled. And
2020 has been a bitch.
It's just a kick in the nuts.
Right? Like just every day it's like, wait, there's more. Like it's just nonstop. Yeah. It's only March. Frig. Right off. Anyway, all right, so I'll let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Raj Maniar from Torque Brewing. And again, he's been in the industry for longer than the industry's been a thing, probably.
Thanks for aging me a bit there.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother listing all the restaurants he's been at because that's another 20 minutes of recorded video that we don't need. So just know he knows what he's talking about. He's I would say an expert in the field, quite literally in the field, delivering beer. And and I thank you for your service, sir.
Glad to do it, and we'll see you on the other side, man.
All right. Have a great day.
Yes.